Way up to Angela, what I call her Yee. Way up.
All right, way up. Happy Monday, everybody. It is the start of the week. What's today's date? Today is the 10th. Is that correct? All right, 10th. I'm always trying to figure out where we are because life revolves around the day that you get paid in the week. But yes, happy Monday to you guys. Hopefully y'all had a great and safe weekend. We got a lot going on today. I was watching some things on YouTube that I know we're going to talk about a little bit later, but this has to do with Diddy and more information and news coming out. But in the meantime, let's start the show off with some love and with some positivity. 800-292-5150. Call us up and let's shine a light. Let's spread some love. Shine a light on somebody who's doing something amazing in the community, somebody who's done something amazing in your life, somebody who you just want to acknowledge. 800-292-5150. When we come back, let's shine a light.
We gon' light the block up. I'ma shine. I'ma shine.
Turn your lights on, y'all.
Turn your lights on.
Spreading love to those who are doing greatness.
Shine a light on them. Shine a light on them.
It's time to shine a light on them.
All right, it's Way Up. I'm Angela Yee, and it's time to shine a light. And today I want to shine a light on my goddaughter. She's staying with me for the summer. She starts her internship today. So shout out to Nia at Christie's Auction. That's a huge deal. But she's also super smart, and she's definitely the future. She was in a program, a selective leadership program called Women of Excellence in Leadership that was really difficult to get into, that she graduated from. She goes to Spelman, and she's just been doing an amazing job. She went to the New York Liberty game yesterday. It was Ellie's birthday, the mascot, the elephant. So she's just been having a good time, and it's really nice to have her energy in the house. So shout out to you, Nia. I want to shine a light on you. Now, who do you guys want to shine a light on? 800-292-5150. Deshad, who do you want to shine a light on?
I would like to shine a light on a friend of mine. He got locked up early on when he was 17 years old. And I just like to shout out his rehabilitation process and how he was able to transform and become a full-time published author.
Oh, wow. What books does he have out? Or, give us at least one title.
I would shout out his memoir. It's called Once Upon My Time, Making the Best of It While It's Available. His name is Nasir Salam. It's available on Amazon and everything. And I'm just proud of him, so I just wanted to send him a salute.
Okay. All right. Well, shout out to him. And thank you so much. You're a good friend, and I'm sure y'all both be looking out for each other.
Can I shout out his Instagram too?
Oh, yes, please.
It's at Free Naz. That's at Free Nazz. At Free Naz.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go look it up right now. Thank you for calling.
Salute to you. Thank you.
All right. Well, that was Shine a Light, 800-292-5150. And we have a Yee tea when we come back. And let's show some love to Megan Thee Stallion. It seems like she's going through it. People are really harassing her. We'll tell you the latest and her reaction while she was performing on stage. It's Way Up.
They say it's truth in the rumors.
From industry shade to all the gossip,
Talk to me.
Angela's spilling that Yee tea.
Talk to him.
Yo, it's Way Up. I'm Angela Yee on a Monday. And you know what? Let's shout out to Megan Thee Stallion and our Yee tea because there was a doctored sex tape that has been going around online, and she had to blast it. She said, it's really sick how y'all go out of the way to hurt me when you see me winning. Y'all going too far. Fake AS. Just know today was your last day playing with me, and I mean it. That has to be really annoying. Now, my producer Dan is here. So did you see this, doctored?
I did. It's a shame.
Yeah.
It really is. You could tell it's AI, which I think is beneficial on her side.
Right. But it's just still annoying because no matter what, people are going to troll you, and she gets a lot of trolling. Now, she was also performing in Tampa. She's on her tour right now, and she actually got very emotional and was just kind of standing there for a minute, like trying to breathe and get herself together before going into the song Cobra. But she's definitely been through a lot, just family-wise, court-wise, relationship-wise, dealing with people, but still picking herself up and doing everything that she needs to do. And she did post afterward, Tampa hotties, thank you. I love y'all. The energy was everything. Love you, hotties. So shout out to her. All right. And good news. Bad Boys 4 made $56 million. during the weekend that it opened up domestically, but internationally, it made over $104 million, and it cost $100 million.
That's a win.
Yeah, so that's definitely a win. And so for this to be part 4 in this franchise, very few action comedies get to 4 episodes. According to the movie consulting firm Franchise Entertainment Research, the jokes start to run thin, stories get repetitive, but when they do, they hold up well. And you know what the number 2 movie was? The Garfield movie. By the way, so who would have thunk it? But something like this is great for people are saying no one's going to the movies anymore. So to see people going to the movies, to see Bad Boys 4 for Will Smith and Martin Lawrence to have this opening, such a big deal. All right, and Ryan Garcia was arrested on felony vandalism. You know, on Friday we were talking about them doing a welfare check. He was staying at the Waldorf Astoria in LA. And you know, on Saturday, they got a call about an intoxicated person. And remember, we told you that they had to cut him off at the bar downstairs and all kinds of issues. Well, now they're saying Ryan Garcia did end up getting arrested. And so, not sure what is going on with him, but it was for felony vandalism. It's on video if you want to see it. And he was posting, I'm worried I have to be at this weird hospital and they are trying to give me medicine and they have me on a hold for who knows how long. They will determine, pray for me, God help me. And so he was tweeting about that as well and asking for prayers. All right. Well, that is your Yeetie. When we come back, we have About Last Night. That's where we discuss what we did last night. I know everybody's watching basketball as well now. So we'll discuss that, but also a movie that I was watching over the weekend. It's Way Up.
So, about last night. Here's how it went down.
All right, it's Way Up. I'm Angela Yee. I'm here on a Monday talking about what we did last night. Now, my producer Dan and I both were watching Hitman on Netflix, not together, but separately. You said you were watching it too.
Yes, I thought it was great.
Yeah, so you know it's a true story.
Yes,
I see that in the very beginning, or what they say, a quasi true story.
Right.
So if you haven't seen that yet, that's on Netflix. A fake hitman.
Yeah, it was great.
Okay, it was great. It was funny. It's a comedy.
Yeah.
So I got to finish it because I had a lot going on. My parents actually came over this weekend. Now, y'all know I'm quite grown, but my parents still do things like bring over toilet paper and all kinds of supplies for my house and things like that. Like, for instance, they bought me like 3 huge bottles of mouthwash. I have one mouth. And I also, do y'all use mouthwash?
Yes.
You do?
Every day.
There's a lot of sugar in mouthwash.
Well, you spit it out.
Yeah, but it's all still going on your teeth. That's why I'm like, you know, is mouthwash really an essential thing?
I thought it's the one with alcohol you're not supposed to use. That's the one that's apparently bad for your teeth.
I got to do some more research on that. But anyway, they brought me over like 40 rolls of toilet paper. I'm like, where do I put all of these things? They brought me over like a ton of bottled water. And every single time they come to my house, they bring a bunch of stuff over. And then they also refuse to let me do stuff for them. So I'm like trying to order food. So what I learned to do with my parents is not ask them and just order, because they'll be like, no, we don't want anything. No, we don't want that. No, we don't eat that. And then I order it and then they eat everything I order anyway. So just had to learn how to do that. But yes, so shout out to my parents for spending time with me and doing things that, you know, we love our parents and we got to make sure that we are grateful for the time that we do get to spend with them at all times.
My mom always gives me like old cans. So it'll be like black beans or like tuna fish that expired in like 2018. I'm like, gee, thanks.
Why does she do that? She's getting it out of her house.
She just wants it out of her house, yeah.
All right, well, that is About Last Night. When we come back, tell us a secret. 800-292-5150 is a number. Call us up. Now, it's a Monday. I know y'all was doing a lot of debauchery. Is that how you say the word? Debauchery over the weekend. But this could also be old secrets, maybe something you've never told anybody. 800-292-5150. We're not going to judge you because Mano's not here. But call us up and tell us a secret. Again, you remain anonymous, but keep it spicy. 800-292-5150. Tell us a secret.
Shh. This is a judgment-free zone. Tell us a secret.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee on a Monday, and let's get it started right. Let's get into Tell Us a Secret. Again, this is a no judgment zone. This is going to help you just kind of clear your karma. Just get it out there, put it out there. Let's move forward. It's no judgment. You're anonymous. 800-292-5150. What's up, anonymous caller? You want to tell us a secret?
I slept with my step cousin.
You said you slept with your what?
My step cousin.
Oh, your step cousin. Okay. How long have y'all known each other?
I don't know, since we was like 4 or 5.
And how long ago did this happen?
A couple years ago.
Okay, and how did it happen? Who initiated it?
He did.
He did. But this is your step cousin, so you guys aren't related by blood.
No, we're not. But in my family, when you're married, you're family.
Right, y'all grew up together. You known each other since you were young. You guys have always known each other as cousins. That's my cousin. Even like play cousins.
Right, so we kissing cousins.
Have you always liked him?
No,
Do you like him now?
I don't like him like that.
Okay, so it's never gonna happen again.
No, it won't happen again, but we couldn't get together.
Did he try to keep hollering afterward?
Yeah, and that too. Oh.
Sheesh. All right. Well, thank you for sharing.
Okay, thank you.
He thanks you too. Hey, anonymous caller, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
You want to tell me a secret?
I do.
Okay.
Well, I have a husband that I've been with for a very, very long time, 30-some years. He's very ill, and about 7 years ago, which I love him, my husband, I have been very loyal, take very good care of him. However, he's very ill. I met a man 7 years ago that I connected with, and we've been having a 7-year affair.
Oh, wow. Okay, and your husband has no idea, obviously.
No idea.
And the guy who you've been having the affair with knows what his position is.
Absolutely. Yes, he does.
And you feel like,
Great
your
friend.
husband's ill, so you're still taking care of him, so you want your happiness too.
Absolutely. That's it right there. It's possible to have more than one love in your life. Taboo, I know, to have it simultaneously, but sometimes life just happens and you connect with other people just as good.
And this sounds like a different type of circumstance that you could have never anticipated.
Never.
All right.
Was not in my DNA, I thought.
Because they say in sickness and in health, but in real life, I don't know that always is the truth.
There's a movie called Terms of Endearment, and then Deborah Winger plays in it, and she meets a man, and this man's wife is very ill. It's John Lithgow, and his wife is very ill, so he asks her if she would be his friend, and she agreed to it. But he loved his wife, but it was just because she was so ill and he was lonely, and that happened.
Yeah, it does happen, and it's real life. So people can't judge unless they're in a situation. Well, thank you for calling and sharing.
You're welcome.
All right, well, that was Tell Us a Secret. And when we come back, we have Your Yeetie, and we'll be talking about Diddy. Kim Porter's father is speaking out, and now there's another person who says that she was allegedly assaulted by Diddy and Kanye. We'll tell you who that is. It's way up.
Oh, she about to blow the lid up off this pot.
Let's get it.
Oh, yeah. Angela's spilling that yee tea.
Come and get the tea.
All right, it's way up. I'm Angela Yee, and it is time for some Yee tea. So let's talk about some of these Diddy updates. Now, Kim Porter's father has given his thoughts on the video of Diddy assaulting Cassie in that hallway of a hotel. He spoke to Rolling Stone, and Jake Porter said that video made him wonder what happened to his daughter while she was in a relationship with Diddy. He said, "You can say I was disgusted with the video, and I wouldn't treat my enemy like that. It was despicable. I couldn't believe it. I was in Vietnam, and I wouldn't do that to my enemy." Now, he also did say he never saw Diddy assault his daughter to that extent, but he did wonder what he could have done to her behind closed doors, and that his outlook on Diddy has also changed due to the graphic video. He didn't think that Diddy would commit such a heinous act or that he could stoop that low. He said, "I imagine it surprised a lot of people. I wouldn't even do a dog like that. My heart goes out to Cassie." In addition to that, a singer, Nikki Heaton, has come out. Now, Nikki Heaton was signed to All Def Digital about 10 years ago, and she is no longer in the music business, but she talks about a story about a time that she was in the studio with Kanye and Diddy, and she alleges that she was assaulted at that time. And she also said that she's not getting anything out of telling this story. She's left the music business. She's living on a farm. Here's what she had to say.
I'm already seeing people being like, this is cap. What do I have to gain? I'm in a farm in the middle of nowhere. I'm not in the industry anymore. I'm not filing a lawsuit, so I'm not getting paid. I'm not looking for clout, because who gives a about me? So why would I lie about this? This has been 9.5 years since this happened to me.
Now, she did have a song called Bad Intentions featuring the Migos that people really knew, and she did a lot of hip-hop covers back in the day. That's actually how she got discovered by her manager, LP, Lauren, who, by the way, is the person that was Diddy's assistant, who is suing, who is Kanye's assistant, who is suing Kanye now. So that's how all of this ties together. The woman, Lauren, was Nikki Heaton's assistant, was her manager, and now she was Kanye's assistant. She's the one that she said Kanye hired her, paid her $1 million a year, made her quit her OnlyFans, and now she's suing him. So they know each other really well. Now here is what Nikki Heaton had to say about the drinks when she got to the studio. She said there were a bunch of women in the studio, and she said the drinks, she could tell, were late. She was only 19 years old at the time.
2 sips, and I watch her face flush. And I was like, it's already hitting her. Like, 100%, I just knew that the drinks were all laced with something. And I go to get my phone where Kanye put it on one of the speakers. And as I'm going to get it, I turn and my manager's walking out. And I'm like, no. She's like, it's right there. I'm just going to go to the bathroom. And she walks out. And all of a sudden, I realize that I'm in the studio with Diddy and Kanye. And they're both off their and there's 3 other men.
All right. Now she starts telling the story about how at first she wasn't scared when they were approaching her because there were other people in the studio and she was trying to play it off. Here's what Nikki Heaton alleges happens next.
So they start trying, they're pawing at me. They're both drunk, probably on something else. I'm like, you guys stop, stop. And they're getting to the point where they have ripped my shirt off. I'm almost fully exposed at this point. And I look over to this man asking for help and I literally mouth the word help. And we lock eyes, and he looks away. And I look to his engineer next, and he looks down at his phone and starts texting.
So in other words, she felt that nobody in that studio was going to help her or save her in that situation. She did manage to slip out the door. She hid in an empty, dark studio for 20 minutes, she claims. And then after it was over, she went to go find her friend Lauren, her manager, and saw that Lauren was being assaulted by Kanye, she alleges. And then after the assault was over, they got in an Uber and left. She said Lauren doesn't remember anything because she was drugged. And so this is yet another person who's coming forward with her story. So we'll see how this plays out. But again, she's not trying to sue or do anything. She just wanted to tell her story. And it's a 30-minute live video that she did that people were watching as she did this. All right. Well, that is your Yee Tea. And when we come back, we have Under the Radar. These are the stories that are flying under the radar, but you need to know about them anyway. One of them has to do with hair loss and the drugs that people take in order to get their hair back. Would you trade your sex drive for your hair? It's way up.
The news that relates to you. These stories are flying under the radar.
It's way up. I'm Angela Yee, and it's time for Under the Radar. Now, a lot more young men are using this hair loss drug, but some doctors are cautioning about side effects. And while these side effects are rare, they do exist. So a company like Hims, it's a drug that people use for hair loss. Am I allowed to say who in here uses it?
Yes.
Our producer, Dan. You use Hims, right?
For over a year now.
And it works.
It does. My hair's grown back.
Now, they said the daily pill is safe, but once you start taking it, you'll need to continue for as long as you want to avoid hair loss. If you stop taking it,
which is true,
hair loss does come back, and there is some controversy, but they are saying that it does, however, in some cases, lead to a lower sex drive. And you were willing to take that risk.
Yeah, I was really depressed when my hair was starting to fall out.
That probably also led to a lower sex drive.
I would scratch my head and I would see my hair in my hands and it would really drive me crazy. So I was like, I have to do something about it.
All right. Well, it does help with that. And you do have a full head of hair now.
I do now.
For now. All right. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is Albuquerque, New Mexico. On Thursday, police arrested an 11-year-old, right? And that is for a month of burglaries, auto thefts, and shootings. They said that the 11-year-old was arrested for these crimes, shooting a firearm. They did not release his identity, but he's facing several charges, including aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, conspiracy, shooting at or from a motor vehicle, shooting into an occupied dwelling, aggravated battery, unlawful possession of a weapon by a minor, non-residential burglary, criminal damage to property over $1,000, and conspiracy to commit a 4th-degree felony. And so according to reports, a 12-year-old called the police and said a group of boys who called themselves the Kia Boys, who are known to frequent the area, were throwing rocks at her house. They were trying to break into the house, and it's juvenile, so an 11-year-old. Imagine that. And it's a rare case that something like this would happen, but the police said there was kind of nothing they could do as he was terrorizing residents for a month. All right, well, that is your Under the Radar. You know we got the Way Up Mix at the top of the hour. Plus, we're going to be talking to you guys. Don't forget Father's Day is coming up this weekend. Never can forget that. Juneteenth is next week. A lot of great things happening, but in the meantime, let's party. It's Way Up.
Just like to talk like they Angela Yee, like they Angela Yee.
Man, she's spilling it all. This is Yee T.
Way up.
All right, it's Way Up. I'm Angela Yee, and let's get into some Yee Tea. So, Sexy Red, there was some type of situation at the airport, at Newark Airport, and she is speaking out after her alleged arrest for this altercation. Now, what some people are saying is that she was in the airport and people were taking non-consensual pictures of her and her security, and according to reports, she was arrested but then released. And here's what she has to say now.
I just got out. I said, why the y'all just now rolling up? Y'all should have been here.
All right, so not sure exactly what happened with her, but they said she spent a little bit of time in jail over the weekend after she was detained and arrested with some of her entourage, where an individual took, like we said, that photo without permission. All right, now Jay-Z is accused of doing more harm than good. There's a $300 million Philadelphia scholarship fund that he set up, and they'll be distributing that money to students in the city via scholarships to private schools for grades K through 12. Now, although this feels like a philanthropic effort, some of the people are having issues like, why not, use that money for public schools, right? Because the public schools could really use that money instead. And people are also saying that this has to do with future Trump cabinet member Jeffrey Yass, who is leading this effort to gut public education. Dan, you saw this story. Our producer Dan, what did you think?
It's like I'm torn because it's like, one, is it ever good enough? Like, can you do something good and then immediately people are like, well, you should allot that money elsewhere because there's more important things? And then two is like, if you, and this is a question for you, like, if you align with someone who you may not necessarily agree with all their politics, is it still okay to do something that you would deem positive for the community?
I think that it also depends because Jay-Z also is quite aware that people are going to be looking at who he's aligning with. Sure. So it does make a statement.
But he's still doing positive in the community.
And I'll say this. I was in a program called Prep for Prep, and that program actually sends you to private school. So the program that I was in, it was a free program, and it's basically kind of like busing. It sends quote-unquote underprivileged kids to private school. Do I feel like, money is definitely needed for the public school system? Absolutely. So maybe it would have been nice to do an effort that incorporates both, because I'm sure anything he does is very vetted out.
Right.
And so these are all things you have to take into consideration when you decide who you align with. Even when, he aligned with the NFL. People were mad about that because of Colin Kaepernick and everything Colin Kaepernick stood for. And then it kind of felt like, oh, now you're doing this. Do you go on the inside and make change and work within these organizations? Or are you powerful enough to do it without them? Those are questions, and it's really like knowing that you are going to get some type of repercussions from that. You have to be okay with that to make those decisions and then stand on it. Or know when you made a wrong decision and say, let's backtrack a little. All right. Kendrick Lamar gave a surprise speech at Compton College's graduation ceremony over the weekend on Saturday. I am so sure that was so exciting for those students. Everybody else is getting these different speakers. Imagine Kendrick Lamar speaks at your college. All right, and here is some of what he had to say.
This degree that y'all have right here is just as big as any degree. I don't care what school, I don't care what institution. Compton College, this Compton degree is just as big. Now it's all about taking these resources and taking what you learned and applying them.
All right. I know that's right. Shout out to everybody in Compton. All right. And that is your Yee Tea. When we come back, we have Ask Yee. 800-292-5150 is the number. Call us up. Any question you have. I'm here to help you out. And you can even leave a message on our voicemail. We can help you that way. Or you can also go on the app, click the little microphone. That's the talk back button, and we'll get your message that way. Either way, the show is all about you. We're here to help you out. Ask Yee is next. 800-292-5150. Now let's get into some SZA, one of the top albums, I would say, ever. Here's Snooze. It's Way Up.
Whether it's relationship or career advice, Angela's dropping facts.
You should know.
This is Ask Yee.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee on a Monday, and it's time for Ask Yee. 800-292-5150 is the number. Any question you have, we are here to help you out. And today, we have an Ask Yee question from the voicemail. Here's that question.
Hi, Angela. My preschooler came home with a note saying that her teacher is hosting a slumber party at their house. I just want to know how should I go about responding to this teacher and letting them know that these invitations are inappropriate.
I think that this is something that should be brought to the school's attention. I don't think that teachers should be hosting sleepovers. And it's interesting because somebody who works here said they did go to a slumber party. Dan, that would be our producer, Dan. When you were in what grade?
I think this was like 5th grade, something like that.
All right. And this is preschool.
I was young. It was, I was in elementary school when this happened.
Right. And you did go to a sleepover.
I did.
How many kids were in your class?
There was well over 20. I don't remember how many kids were there, but it was both boys and girls. Mm-hmm. It was really just pizza and a movie and like sleeping bags on the floor.
Right.
I'm sure that my mom or dad spoke to some of my friends' parents, but in hindsight, like hearing this voicemail and then thinking about like my experience, granted, like nothing happened when I went, but that's not cool. Like that's not okay by any means.
You know, I'm thinking about my elementary school, and we did have one teacher that ended up going to jail for molesting boys.
Yeah.
And he used to have some of the kids come to his house, the boys come help move furniture. And mind you, this is in elementary school. Like, what little kids are helping you move furniture? And so I just think that that's inappropriate. And I can see that in some situations, like if it's a small town and the kids all are like know each other, but preschool is also kind of young for them to be able to voice if something should happen. And even for myself, my parents would let people sleep over at my house, but I never really was allowed to sleep over anybody's house. And so it feels like you, as a protective parent, as you should be, feel like there's an issue with this. And if you feel like there's an issue, you should definitely address that issue. I would talk to the teacher, and I would even talk to an authority figure at the school
superintendent
about how inappropriate something like this is, you know, and even like talking to some of the other parents is something that I would do. But, you know, if you feel like there's a cause for alarm, there is, if that's how you feel. All right. And that would be my advice, because it just seems very strange, especially in this day and age, you know, to not realize that that's inappropriate. But that is Ask Yee, 800-292-5150. And I would love to see what you guys think. I want to see how you guys would weigh in if this was your kid. What would you say? All right, 800-292-5150. Maybe there's even some teachers who could call and weigh in just to give some extra advice. It's an important topic. It's Way Up, 800-292-5150. Would you let your child in preschool or any age sleep over at a teacher's house? Is there any way that that could be considered appropriate? 800-292-5150.
Here we go again.
This is Way Up with Angela Yee.
Hey, what's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. And for Ask Yee, we had this question today.
My preschooler came home with a note saying that her teacher is hosting a slumber party at their house. I just want to know how should I go about responding to this teacher and letting them know that these invitations are inappropriate.
All right, but we want to see what your thoughts are. Is it inappropriate? I think it is for a teacher to have a sleepover with the students, especially preschool guys. All right, well, Ms. B, what do you think?
At first, when I heard it, I thought about maybe if they would have said, let's have a thing where the entire school is participating, because the kids already show up around those adults. But to have it in an intimate setting such as someone's home, which is something that all the teachers and administration doesn't have privy to, is very inappropriate. And then the demographic of kids, preschool, that's an absolute heck no.
Okay. And you're a teacher or a dean?
I am a teacher and the dean in a middle school. And I'm a mother.
So what would you do if one of the teachers at your school was like, this happened? What would you say?
If they actually invited and said, here, we're having a sleepover, I think the first thing that I would do is like contact my immediate principal as well as like administration, because I think like that's a liability for the school in itself, because something could happen.
Right.
And at that person's home, that then makes the entire school liable. So I'm definitely reaching out to administration and the principal immediately.
All right. See, I'm not crazy, because I did think that was very strange. So, all right. Well, thank you for calling.
No worries. Thank you for having me.
Hey, Gina, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Yee? Thank you for bringing up this topic. I can't believe this is even happening.
I know. All right, well, tell me what you think, because it was an Ask Yee question about kids having sleepovers with their teacher.
Yeah, I think that is beyond inappropriate. I think it should definitely be brought to the school's attention. I would honestly want that teacher removed. That's honestly cringy and weird. And are parents invited? Is this something that's supervised? Do you just want a bunch of kids in your house?
Right.
And if it's something like, ending the year and to be with the friends and all that, then that sounds nice. But maybe at the school,
right,
like at a gymnasium, where it's like a whole grade thing with other teachers and maybe some parent chaperones. But I don't know how someone in that profession or any grown adult thinks that it's okay to have a group of kids sleeping in their house.
I agree with you. I think maybe the kids come to school in their pajamas for that day, and it's like a at school, during school hours slumber party in the classroom, and just make it like it's a party.
Exactly.
Yeah, you could do anything creatively fun, but know that that's just inappropriate. All right, well, thank you for calling and giving your very strong opinion, which we needed.
Thank you.
Well, all right, guys, thank you for calling and weighing in. You can always still weigh in on Last Word and, of course, on our social media page, Way Up with Yee. And when we come back, you guys have the last word.
Pick up the phone.
Tap in. Tap in and get your voice heard.
What the word is.
Here's the last word on Way Up with Angela Yee.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee on a Monday. I want to thank y'all for calling in today. And you guys were very passionate about today's topic about kids having sleepovers or teachers hosting a sleepover for their students. I don't think anybody thought that was okay. Like, in what scenario is that okay? But of course, I know a lot of y'all are calling in about that. And I'm going to give you guys a little heads up. Father's Day is coming up this weekend. Do not treat this like the stepchildren of holidays, okay? You got to make sure that you actually put a little effort, for Father's Day. If you got a dad that you care about, a baby daddy, a grandfather, anybody in your family or in your life, let's do it big for them this year, okay? And of course, like we said, this show is all about you. 800-292-5150. You guys have the last word.
Being a teacher myself, I think it is inappropriate for a teacher or any figure of authority to have minors come, whether it's a cookout or any type of social. I think that's very inappropriate. Again, being a teacher myself, I would get frowned on sometimes for bringing like rewards as chips and candy sometimes to students as a reward for doing good on a test or a project. So definitely any type of thing outside of school, definitely inappropriate in my opinion.
Yes, I would like to shine the light on my niece, Seale Baker. Her husband is in the military. She has 3 children, and she's just an all-around mom. Seale is one of those moms that can change the tire. She can change the battery in the car. There's nothing in her house that she can't fix. She is just an awesome military mom/wife. Julius Baker is the husband. He's away in Kuwait. Just want to shout out to her.